This is an interesting story that did not get a lot of attention since it came out right around New Year's Day, but I do think it's worth covering. Joe Biden is going to have a completely new Secret Service team in his immediate presidential protection team. And you might be saying, well, what's the big deal? New president, new protection team, right? Well, the big deal is that some reassignments are common when there's a presidential transition. Some agents move into being the people right around the president. Some move out of it. Joe Biden is going to be getting an entirely new team, though, because there are concerns about having Donald Trump sycophants around Joe Biden. Secret Service is often considered apolitical, simply there to provide security. There are reportedly Trump sycophants that are now part of the presidential protection team. Individuals who, for example, were discouraging each other from wearing masks to be politically in line with Trump on COVID, even though officially the federal government was saying all of our employees are going to be wearing masks. The Secret Service allowed former security detail leader Anthony Ornato to temporarily leave his role and serve as White House deputy chief of staff. Very unusual. Very unorthodox decision. And that same guy, Ornato, is the one who coordinated that insane stunt where Trump held a Bible in front of a D.C. church after the clearing of peaceful protesters from the area. He planned some campaign rallies and the like. So bottom line, they are going to be replacing the entire presidential protection team. And to be frank, I think this makes sense. It's terrible that this is necessary. It appears to be necessary. Secret Service agents are around the president during extremely sensitive events and meetings. And the idea that some Trump anti-maskers or loyalists of any kind would be around Biden is horrifying. And the plan is to bring back some senior agents that knew Joe Biden from his days as vice president and combine them with some newer agents. I actually never thought that much about the politics of Secret Service agents. But then this guy, Dan Bongino, came along. And Bongino was a Secret Service agent who worked on protective duty for George W. Bush. And then he stayed on with Barack Obama. And then we found out Bongino is a completely out of his mind right wing nut that would actually scare me as someone protecting a president, particularly a Democratic president. He's now part owner of the right wing social media network Parler. He said that during Trump's presidency, his life has become about owning the libs. That's a quote. He supported the Spygate conspiracy theory from Donald Trump and on and on and on. And my suspicion is that this is actually going to be a bigger problem than merely the Secret Service. Obviously, Secret Service is of particular importance because we're talking about keeping the president safe. But my suspicion is that there have been Trump loyalists installed at medium to lower levels in many agencies. And often when you have a presidential administration that changes, the leadership at many of those federal government agencies also changes. You know, the directors and deputies to those directors may be a little bit lower than that in order for everybody to sort of be in line with the incoming president. But because of how Trump and his cronies operate, I would guess that there are tons of loyalists and cronies below the level that a White House would be involved in hiring for. And that is a real concern. And we'll have to see how that manifests during the first year or two of Joe Biden's presidency. You may well have, as a result of Donald Trump's incredibly cronyistic handling of every aspect of government, entire departments filled at the low to mid level with Trump sycophants and loyalists. So my guess would be that over the first 18 to 24 months of Joe Biden's presidency, we'll be hearing about these rogue acts of defiance from low level folks. Like, as an example, I'm not predicting exactly this, but as an example, Biden directs NASA to once again start studying climate change. And some lower level folks refuse to put the information back up on the website. Maybe it's a bad example because NASA actually does seem to be focused on doing good science, but that type of thing, and it'll have to be rooted out. It'll sort of be equivalent to when the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage nationally. You had that deranged, wacky Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis, who just resisted issuing marriage licenses in her county. Obviously, it failed. She was just replaced. But she was temporarily held up as a martyr by some on the right. It's going to be a very interesting couple of years.